This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Each year in the United States, nearly 800,000 people experience a stroke. Stroke is associated with declines in cognitive function, including memory and thinking speed. Although many patients experience these declines immediately after a stroke, a new study looked at whether cognitive decline also continues and even accelerates years after the initial stroke.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
David Rahman was at home watching TV when he had his stroke.
I couldn't close my hand. The right side of my face was numb.
He knew something was very wrong and went to find his wife.
I opened the door and tried to tell her that she should call the doctor. And it was just babble. I couldn't speak.
After his stroke, like many patients, David had immediate problems with memory and his ability to think clearly was impaired.
We have known that stroke is associated with cognitive decline over the short term. We did not know whether stroke is associated with declines in thinking, speed, and memory over the years after the event.
Dr. Deborah Levine from the University of Michigan and co-authors followed more than 23,000 people 45 years and older who participated in a national study. The participants were free of any cognitive impairment when they entered the study. Memory,
Apple table car,
and other aspects of cognitive function were measured at the beginning and at regular intervals throughout a 6-year follow-up period. 515 people experienced a stroke during the study period. The rest remained stroke-free.
Stroke is associated with significant long-term cognitive decline. Stroke survivors may experience decline in their memory and thinking speed over years after the event, not just right after the event. Our findings highlight why it's so important for stroke survivors and people at high risk for stroke to control their risk factors and to make behavior changes.
David is doing just that. He lost 61 pounds and continues to be monitored closely by his doctors. He also uses programs on his phone to help improve his memory and thinking speed.
I feel more energetic, happier. I do want to live a long time, and I'd like that to be as well as possible.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Stroke survivors warrant close monitoring to help detect declines in cognition years after their stroke. Desert View Hospital is having a back-to-school fair this Saturday.
We are very excited to hold our annual back-to-school health fair. This year it's on Saturday, July 18th, so it's just around the corner. It starts at 9 a.m. and it will go to noon right here on the hospital's campus.
What kind of vendors, what's going to be going on during the health fair?
We'll have a lot of our usual vendors. We will have vision screenings, dental screenings, school supplies that we'll be giving out. There will be immunizations, sports physicals, and all of those are offered at no charge to the public.
And there will be booths outside and most likely Pahrump Valley Farm Rescue and Mercy Air?
Yes. So there will be quite a variety of different vendors, but yes, Mercy Air will be here with their helicopter, so the kids can take a look at that, see what that's about. And then, of course, the fire department will be here with their fire truck. We always enjoy having them here and spraying people down.
So the kids should be ready to get hosed down by that fire hose.
Yeah, if they want, we put them in a separate parking lot so nobody has to get wet. But yeah, they'll be here to do that for us.
This is a great opportunity for parents and kids to come on by, find out what there is available, and get all the things done that they need to get done for school.
Definitely. We'll have everyone from, WIC will be here. Those immunizations are really important. There's lots of immunizations that are required before you can go to school and at different grade levels, so those will be available. Plus, there's just a lot of people who it's hard for them to make the appointments or to afford to pay for a vision screening or a dental screening, those sorts of things. So we really appreciate all the businesses that come out and they volunteer their time to do those services, provide those services at no charge.
And if you're new in the community, it's a great opportunity to find out all the services that there is to offer here. One of the things that they do on the Back to School Health Fair is the Nye County School Districts brings by a school bus, right?
Yes, so there will be a school bus here, which is especially great for those kindergartners or perhaps somebody who has never been on a school bus before. It's great. They have the school bus opened up so kids can get on, they can see what it's like, they can talk to the people from the transportation department who are here, who can ease their concerns. And we'll also have representatives from the school district. People have questions about school and registration and those sorts of things, then they'll be able to get those questions answered.
And the transportation department is requiring you to fill out those forms to get the school bus pickup done, and they actually have that here available, don't they?
Yes, normally they do bring those forms. So it's a one-stop shop. The health fair overall is a one-stop shop to get everything done and to get ready, get a few supplies to get you started for the school year. So you'll be ready to go.
Date and time again?
It's on Saturday, July 18th from 9 a.m. to noon.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is calling on drug makers of some popular painkillers to strengthen their warning labels after a review of new safety information. The warning labels on non-aspirin, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, naproxen, and Celebrex must be updated to identify an increased risk of heart attack or stroke. These drugs are typically given to relieve pain or fever that results from, but not limited to, arthritis, flu, headaches, and menstrual cramps. Higher doses require prescription, while lower doses are available over the counter. The warning applies to both. Brand names include Celebrex, Advil, naproxen, Aleve, and Daypro, to name a few. Let's join Courtney Salmon with Weekend Sports.
Serena Williams has claimed her 6th Wimbledon title as she defeated Garbina Muguruza on Saturday. Serena won her first Grand Slam at the age of 17 and has now won what has been dubbed the Serena Slam, which is winning 4 majors in a row for the 2nd time. You know you're a hardcore player when you get your own title. If Serena wins the U.S. Open, she will have claimed her 22nd Grand Slam in her career, making her tied for 2nd most all-time winners. For the men, Novak Djokovic defeated Roger Federer for his 3rd Wimbledon victory. Major League Baseball has their home run derby tonight at 5. The first round of the Derby puts Albert Pujols of the Angels against Las Vegas native Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs. Then Dodgers' Jock Peterson against Baltimore's Manny Machado, Blue Jay Josh Donaldson against Chicago's Anthony Rizzo, and Cincinnati's Todd Frazier against Rangers' Prince Fielder. Tomorrow, the MLB All-Star Game will start at 4. Starting pitcher for the American League is Dallas Keuchel, and for the National League, it's Zach Greinke. The Pahrump Valley Speedway is added again this Saturday. The races start at 7, and the leaders in points for each race class are Dan Snowden in Modifieds, Rafael Flores in Superstock, Dylan Smotherman in Ministock, Mark Daub in Coupes, Anthony Martin in Mini-Mods, Jeremiah Tatum in Dwarfs, Mike Lane in Bombers, and Eric Hallett in Hobby Stock. For the Mini Dwarf Seniors, Jake Pike is leading, and for the Mini Dwarf Juniors, Maya Broughton leads. Those are the children's divisions. For more information, go to PahrumPValleySpeedway.com. It's a little slow during the summer around here for local sports. Coming up next month is football, volleyball, girls golf, and soccer. If you have any local sports stories you'd like to share, please email news@kpvm.tv. This has been Weekend Sports. I'm Courtney Salmon with News 46.
Thanks, Courtney. News 46 will return in just a moment. Welcome back. The Department of Veterans Affairs may have to shut down some hospitals next month if Congress does not address a $2.5 billion shortfall for the current budget year. The VA told Congress that it needs to cover shortfalls caused by an increased demand by veterans for health care, including costly treatments for hepatitis C. The agency also is considering furloughs, hiring freezes, and other steps to close a funding gap for the budget year that ends September 30th. The VA said it wants authority to use up to $3 billion from the new Veterans Choice Program to close the budget gap, with as much as $500 million going to treat hepatitis C. The single pill for the liver-wasting viral infection can cost up to $1,000. Here's Darby O'Donnell, RJ Lloyd, and Joe Hayden at Fitness for 10 and Peak Performance.
I did not eat before, which resulted in me getting very, very nauseous, and then going to the bathroom, and then nice little old ladies from the yoga class touching me.
They were giving you massages, huh?
They were trying to relax my muscles.
So RJ worked out hard. You had a little bit of cardio, which brought your blood pressure up.
I think that's actually why I started getting nauseous, is because I did not eat, and then we did some sin. Yeah.
So next time you're gonna eat about an hour before?
Yep, I'm gonna eat some breakfast before I come in.
She's doing okay. I mean, today she had a little upset stomach because she didn't eat. It is important to eat before you work out. It's important to make sure you eat every day. 3 or 4 times a day, 4 or 5 times a day. Balanced meals, and that's important, especially when you start to work out. You want to make sure you have a meal, nothing heavy, but something light, like about an hour, hour and a half before you work out. That way you don't get any kind of nausea, feel weak, and it gives you that energy, especially a good protein meal.
So not right before you work out. That's not recommended.
Definitely not right before, because that's just going to make you nauseous, especially if you do squats or something like that. It's going to almost cause you to throw up.
What's a recommended supplement or food that you should eat before or after? Because I know that people who work out are definitely talking about what they like to have after workout, before workout. That helps their workout?
It does help the workout. It depends on what they're doing. For example, some people that compete, they cut carbs out of their diet for a little while because they're getting into competition shape. People that aren't competing, just working out regularly, they have if they work out in the morning, they do a good balance of carbs, proteins, and fats. Working out in the evenings, they kind of stay away from the carbs and just kind of do proteins, fats, that sort of thing. So it kind of depends on the frequency of when you're working out and what you're doing. Like, for example, we're here in the morning, so Darby should have had at least 2 meals, because it's the afternoon, correctly. It's the afternoon, so she should have had at least 2 meals, a breakfast and a lunch, and then from the workout. And those lunch should have consisted of course, breakfast carbs and some proteins and some healthy fats, and then as well as her lunch would consist of some carbs, proteins, and healthy fats again. And she would have felt a lot better, working out, more energy, ready to get into it and do more things, because that just, you're going to be sluggish without it.
New Miss USA Olivia Jordan spoke of the need to discuss race relations en route to her pageant victory and hailed the diversity of women taking part in the contest during a post-pageant question about Donald Trump's comments on Mexican immigrants. Jordan of Oklahoma was crowned Miss USA on Sunday, wearing a hot pink strapless dress with a full flowing skirt as she smoothly navigated the interview portion of the competition to beat out 50 other contestants. After weeks of controversy generated by Trump's comments bashing Mexican immigrants, the pageant passed with no mention of the real estate mogul, who was not in attendance. We'll be back with your weather in a moment.